So in the background, you can hear Kaspar Hauser's learning curve chewing on a bone. I'm gonna turn this down. Chewing on a bone, and you can probably also hear the swamp cooler cooling the room so that Kaspar Hauser can chew on a bone. This is the commercial preview before Ronnie Montrose's Mutatis Mutandis begins to play, and the reason that we're listening to that in the background of what I'm going to say is kind of obvious to me, but maybe I'll say something about it. Mutatis Mutandis is it's actually a legal term, and it means after the necessary or once the necessary changes have been made, and hence the obviousness of choosing this music, and the fact that it has three female background singers that provide a really powerful performance, and of course the three female singers, for me, represent Moira, or the three fates, and the destiny, and of course the necessary changes are relate to the current political climate and changes in the Democratic ticket, and which in fact have already been made, and but that's just the background for this piece. And really what this piece is about is it's a kind of disclaimer. I mentioned the three background singers, and the oh no, I'm talking to the that was Lori. She thought I was talking to her. She had her headphones on and she thought I was talking to her, and I was talking to you, and it's odd because I continue to talk to you, who I don't know, and I'm like ignoring Lori, who I do know, but it's kind of weird. But in any case, the three background singers, right, relate to this other issue that I wanted to talk about. And this is just kind of like providing the background sound for I really like this piece. Unfortunately, on Apple Music, which is mostly what I purchase, you can't find this album, and so and it's very costly. I don't know why. This is it's a pretty decent album, but it's a wonderful song, and I've used it in at least one other piece, and I sort of stole it, from the YouTube one of the YouTube internet pages, and just like recorded it, because like I said, it's like overpriced, elsewhere, and I don't really want physical objects. And I appreciate people who collect vinyl and things like that, but I because I have the pit bull, he's hiding in this. The cage is open, but he's hiding in this little cage. So this guy who's chewing on this bone will eat anything physical that I have, including CDs, and we kind of have to keep things that he can eat, like the DVDs, like pretty isolated and away from him. So the selection of digital over anything physical like CDs or vinyl is not just a matter of either aesthetic or intellectual preference, but a practical purchase. That's how Kaspar Hauser's learning curve right there. He's made a little bit of poetry in his day, and quite a bit of other stuff. So anyway, back to all of that is like providing background for what I wanted to be a discussion of a disclaimer. Like this is basically a disclaimer, and I'll move on. We're gonna still listen to this. I might actually, because I think if nobody minds, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of this song, because I think I need more time to discuss the real matter, which is actually this page, And what I can do is I can just click here, and then I can get to this. So what this is a disclaimer, and it's a disclaimer because I just made a video in which I referred to JDCCV as wyrd, or at least his discourse on this like hyper-binary discourse that he has about conservatism as being pro-family and and liberalism as being against family. This is one of our children. I found Kaspar Hauser on the street. My wife and I don't have children. We've adopted a lot of stray dogs over the years, but and this is just the latest of them. I found him on the street in traffic on a busy road, here in Albuquerque, Cole, and cars were honking at him, etc. And I actually just, intended to take him to the Humane Society, but they told me at the Humane Society that they were actually at this time putting down dogs, euthanizing dogs that were brought to them because they were full. I guess, a lot, of folks, decided that they wanted a dog during COVID and then gave up the dog when it became too much trouble. But he's had a couple of owners and he is kind of difficult, sometimes. But we didn't want him to face extinction. So in spite of the fact that we weren't really looking for an extra dog and that his youthful exuberation doesn't really go with our, elderly 11 and 9.5-year-old res dogs. We like I said, we didn't want him to be terminated, so we took him in and avoided handing him over to the euthanizing animal shelter here. Let's see, where was I in the other thing? He was just distracting me with this noise. That doesn't really have anything to do with either having, adoptee, human or adoptee, animal foundling, non-children. Although he is, I guess, sort of technically a child still. He's over a year, so he's kind of like a teenager. You know you can get out, right? The cage is open. So, anyway, back to this. The disclaimer was simply that I had referred to JDCCV as being weird, and along with that, Trump being weird, and I don't really believe that. I mean, I don't think either one of them is really interesting. And okay, so Hauser, there's me making the video. There's Hauser. He left his cage. So in the process of leaving his cage, he turned off the computer. So what I'm gonna have to, I think he unintentionally unplugged one of the cords, and so we lost Mutatis Mutandis and the rest of it. So what I need to do now, as he's biting and chewing, this is why I think people gave him up, because he is quite a handful, or your hand is he's full of your hand. And okay, there he goes. Lori is distracting him. I'm gonna have to turn on the computer again, figure out what got disconnected. So let's see. So how did disconnected this? No, it looks like all of this is planned, but it really isn't. It really isn't at all. This is just our life. So let's try turning the computer on again. See if I can get back to where I was and continue the discourse. Let's see. I don't think we're on at all. I don't hear anything going on. Let's see what happened. Oh, okay. So what he did was somehow he managed to turn that off as well. Let's see if I can get this on in a reasonable amount of time to continue the video. See what we got going on over here. Okay, so there, I heard a sound, so the computer's coming back on. That's me again. And as I said, Lori is taking care of Hauser. So we'll see what we can get back. Kind of, just waiting here, biting our time. But I guess I could say, as everything reloads and we get back to mutatis mutandis. Oh, I don't really want everybody to know what my password is, so I'll redirect you to the time and date while I enter my computer password here. I don't think you can tell by the sound what that is. All right, so, oh, wow. Okay, so, wow, it took us all the way back to where we were. That's great. I thought we'd have to find everything. So I'll go back to Ronnie Montrose and see if I can get that started again. I don't think we need to look at the ads. So I'm going to skip the ads if nobody minds. And I'm assuming that since you're not telling me that you mind, that you don't. Okay.
Even thinking about your mental health and all that it entails sounds
okay,
exhausting.
I'm pretty good with my mental health, but oh, here we go. Okay, so here's Ronnie Montrose, here's mutatis mutandis, and we already have the background for that. And then here's the disclaimer, and I was talking about the etymology of weird. And the reason that I don't really think that either JD, CCB, nor DJT are weird, and I'm not gonna like redo the other thing, and I find it amusing, like this what'd you call it, strategy, right? This verbal strategy of identification, because it's pretty polite compared to what the conservatives do. But the reason that I don't find either one of them weird is because I honestly don't think they're interesting enough to be weird. And we had mentioned the fates and having the power to control fate, and the weird sisters, and their relationship to Hecate, right? In the Shakespeare, right? In Macbeth. And how the figuration of those, three weird sisters, as Shakespeare refers to them, control the fate or destiny of Macbeth, and that's kind of interesting in relationship to Trump and the whole conservative project, right? Because they're these monomaniacal, very self-centered, self-serving, socially disconnected in a certain sense, like only concerned with the apparatus of fame and fortune, rather than the preservation of the actual good of whatever society they belong to. But and so that kind of plays into it, I guess. But I still from an etymological point of view, don't think either Trump or the rest of the MAGA party, because it's not really even Republican anymore. It's just this sort of MAGA cult, are interesting enough to be referred to as weird, in any of the senses that are outlined, or abstracted here, the sense of uncanny and supernatural, or belonging to fate, and this kind of witchy aspect that to which this term belongs. Now, let's see if there's anything else. I'm not sure if I can now hit the back button and find other etymological information concerning this term on other sites, because after losing the computer and getting it back, I'm not sure what I still have, but there's some other things on faith. But let's see if I can. Oh, there's the right there. So all of what I'm suggesting already belongs to this page. I don't really have to add any more. Let's see if there's anything else anywhere else. We're running out of the Rani Matra, so I'll probably just end right here. But this one's interesting because it says essentially fate of or related to witchcraft, and of course he referred to his trials, his various trials for the various crimes that he committed over the time that he was in office as witch hunts. But once again, I take exception to that, because I honestly don't think that he's interesting enough to be a witch. But this one said essentially fate. See, this is essentially fate, and I think he's essentially fated to self-destruct.